Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the endearing, the non-overbearing, the simply incredible Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yukon SuckIt. Tell your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you once again from my secret underground headquarters, and I am bringing you today a deck of my own creation. I call this thing Horror Clones. So get your mind out of the gutter. It's not Horror Clones, it's Horror Clones. Let's see. So what's the story behind this? The story is that I have seen Vesuvan Duplimancy for a while, since the start of Dominaria United, and I have wanted to play a deck with it so bad. I've played a few, and they always suck. They always suck. So I keep checking out other sites, seeing if I can find some other decks. Maybe somebody else has put a deck together. For me, they suck. They suck. I just can't get it to work. So I got up today, and I just spent hours just going back and forth, trying to find something that would work. And this is it. This is it. This is the key right here. This has got a certain amount of winning chops to it. And we'll go through it. We'll figure it out. So, yeah. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards. I'll kind of explain what the theory is behind it. And then we'll go and we'll play it and see how well it works. At the low end, we've got, I'm not going to go through it this way. Let's start off and just talk what this deck's supposed to do. So we got Vesuvan Duplimancy, and what this thing does is that whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or creature that you control, you create a token that's a copy of it, except that it's non-legendary, right? So that's great. It gets around the legendary thing. We only got one legendary card, and that's Ivy, but there you go. So you start looking for other cards that say, hey, if something only targets a single other creature, well, that's what gets you into Ivy there, right? Ivy says, whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell, and that copy targets Ivy. So that means that if you're targeting your guys, you're going to get a double dose of goodness. Just like Upgrade, who the double D stands for a double dose of pimpin'. So where are we going with this? So suddenly we got a 2-1 flyer out of the deal, but she's legendary, which means you can only have one out at a time. But good news is that if you end up targeting her, or you target something else, and then she gets the target from another copy, then you can get a copy of her because the second copy is not legendary. So you'd have a second 2-2. And then if you target something else, then she triggers and the clone triggers. And none of them are legendary. And so you can just make a truckload of Gleeful Spellthief. Okay, great. That's how that works. Synergy, right? So from there, the deal is, let's go to Jewel Thief. Because the problem is, actually, let's go to the next one. What I really want to do is I want Sludge Monster. Sludge Monster is a 5/5 for 5, right? And whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you put a slime counter on up to one other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters lose all abilities and have a base power and toughness of 2/2. So that means Sheoldred becomes a 2/2 that does nothing. It means that, what would it be? Any card, any creature out there that's not a horror, and Phyrexians are generally not horrors, are just 2/2 creatures at that point. And you can make copies of Sludge Monster, and for every copy you make, that's another slime counter being passed out. One of the great things we want to do at this point is security bypass, because that targets an individual creature you control, and as long as that creature is attacking alone, it cannot be blocked. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, it connives. So that means you're drawing a card and you're throwing away a card. But at least you're potentially putting a +1 counter, and you could keep something if you like it. You don't necessarily need the +1/+1 counter, which means you're getting 5 points of damage through unblocked, putting +1/+1 counters on things like Voice of the Blessed, who just becomes a stupid 2/2 at that point, and can never pump up ever again. I guess the only big problem is if it has counters on it already, it's going to keep those counters as well. Still, they're a lot easier to kill when they don't have other abilities or the ability to grow. So we got Security Bias helping that out. If you put that on her, she's be able to do her damage as well as conniving up. So it's a great card to help you get through. But the problem is these things are a little expensive, so there's Jewel Thief. And as soon as it enters the battlefield, you get a treasure token. Other than that, it's got Vigilance and Trample and is a 3/3. So that means that these things are great to have. You make copies of them, you're getting tons of treasure tokens. So that's how all that comes together. The other problem, though, is still we're missing out on mana. So that's where the Llanowar Loamspeaker comes in. This guy's 2 mana, at which point he can produce 1 mana of any color every turn. So he's giving you the ramp you're looking for. Between the Jewel Thief and the Llanowar Loamspeaker, you are going to be able to ramp up into the Duplimancy and the Sludge Monster range very quickly. You just got to get to 2 mana, one of which being a green, and that shouldn't be too hard. And if you can start, the other thing is that when you don't need the mana anymore, you can start turning those lands into 3/3 hasty creatures that become lands until at the end of the turn. I mean, they're still lands, but they're just no longer creatures. So on your turn, you'll have 3/3 creatures that can attack. So these guys are way useful. Let's see. Beyond that, we've got Combat Research, which is an aura that goes onto a creature. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. If it was legendary, it gets +1/+1 and has ward. So this is a great card to put on Ivy. If you put it on the Sludge Monster, if it has a security bypass on it, it means that not only are you unblockable, but you got +1/+1 ward and are drawing a card every time it deals damage. But also, you're hoping to have Vesuvan Duplimancy out, so therefore, by putting this on there, you're making a duplicate of whatever card it is that you just targeted. Shore Up gives your guys hexproof and +1/+1. It also untaps it, meaning that it's a trick that will allow you to potentially kill somebody who's coming in for an attack. And these are the last 2 I ended up adding, which made the deck seem to work perfectly, which is March of the Swirling Mist and Luxurious Libations. They're both single mana and X spells. So these are things that you can use to the best of your ability at the time, depending upon how much mana you have. March of the Swirling Mist will phase out X number of creatures. Plus, you can also, discard blue cards, I think, from your hands? Yeah, blue cards from your hand to do an additional 2 ray into this particular card. You can use this one defensively, or you can use it offensively. If you target a single one of your guys while you have the Vesuvan Duplimancy, it'll cause a duplicate to be created. But this one, really, I would try to use it as offensive, wiping out the opponent's board temporarily while you slam in with whatever duplicates you have, hopefully winning the game. Lastly, we got Luxurious Libation, which target creature gets +X/+X until the end of turn. 1 creature. You give it to somebody that has a security bypass on it or is a flyer that can't be blocked, at which point you're just dealing however much mana you got. That's all going to that person, stabbing straight at their heart. From hell's heart, you stab at thee. As well as putting out a 1/1 green and white citizen token. So, yeah, because my big problem is that I could get out guys. I can make lots of duplicates of them. I could pin them down, but I still could never get anything strong happening. But Luxurious Libation is the strength. It is that coup de grace that comes in and takes out your opponent as soon as you can clear a path. So that's the deck. Over here in the lands, we got 20 basic lands and 4 of the semi-fast dual lands. Let's take it out and see how well it does. All right, playing with Ryon. Ryon. All right, that's my boy, but unfortunately, I do not have any green mana there. I don't trust it. We are going to mulligan. Much better. We'll keep it. And you know what? This is the one we're going to get rid of there. Still, I can't play a Sludge Monster for a little while. If I get that guy out, we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine. And here's the question. Should I play it safe? If I need to shore it up to be able to keep him alive, I'll have to wait till I get 3 mana out for this. Except for I need the blue to be able to do it. We're just going to go for it. Hopefully you won't freak out too much by it. Since I don't have the blue mana, it's better earlier than later. Of course, he could have a handful of exile cards in his hand, just looking for something to pick off. All right, that's good. If he's going to attack, it means he's got a trick up his sleeve. And I'm willing to take 2. I don't care. I don't do 3. So this is the one that puts out the Death Touch. I'll just work again. Whenever another creature is battlefield you control, Venom can Death Touch until the end of the turn. Alright, cool. So here is numbers. We have technically 4 mana. And we got 2 blue. And we just need to choke it back. We're good with it as is. He wants to come at me. I got a Shore Up now, which just gives us Hexproof and +1/+1 and Untappedness. But we got to get out that Sludge Monster. This guy's going to pump it out. Which one do we hate more? Probably the Civil Servant. Civil Servant. And there's Golgari. The guy sucks butt. My turn. Okay, here we go. And Sludge Monster. Yes, Sludge Monster. The sludgiest monster you'll encounter in the 2023 metagame. No Galas for you. So even if I shore up, I gotta watch out for having the Sludge Monster get killed is the problem. That's who I need. Alright, number 1. There we go. Everything's cool. And then we'll just go ahead and send them in. Next to combat. Going in. They can't be blocked. Oh, wait. What did I put on there? They can't be blocked. Dang. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this one because just show up sounds too awesome right now. In turn. I can only attack with one guy at a time, and it better be my unblockable guy. Past the blockers. Let's take out, I don't know, Golgari sounds fine. Pick him for real there. Block. I'm going to shore up. Ooh, I should have picked my other guy. Yeah, it's too late. I kind of need to shore up to keep things alive, though, so that's good. We're cool. Alright, can I super pump? What do I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of this. Might as well, right? So if I just lost out on all, I didn't leave 1 mana available for the shore up. Next, no more Death Touch. And we win. See you later, Ryon. Victory! Alright, playing against PlebeianPotato. 1, 2, 3. And we've got 1 Jewel Thief. And we're done. Next turn we'll have our Jewel Thief, which will give us 4 mana. And we'll have a 3/3 Vigilance Trample. Done. Alright, so we can shore up at this point, which would make him be strong enough to withstand a lot of stuff. How to pay! Let's kill the unkillable. Alright, here's the Vesuvian. And if I go in, we'll get killed for no particularly good reason. Coming at me again. No blocks. Alright, so forced in, which is going to give ourselves a Jewel Thief with the security bypass on them. Let's go in. Alright, I'm going to give up on Vesuvan Duplimancy. That sucks, but conniving is so good at the moment. Alright, sorry, but you gotta go, Ivy. I need to be able to target dudes. There's your base toughness. Oh boy, we're getting a lot of those, aren't we? Alright, popping it out. And another. Let's send in this guy, as he can make it through without being blocked. And we can connive, well, except for connive is gonna, well, whatever we draw is what's gonna go. Hopefully it's something not awesome. And there we go. So I got 2 fairly decent blockers at this point. Question is, what will I do to get rid of the Evolved Sleeper? Apparently he's not going to attack with it. Single mana doesn't matter too much. Let's just go into combat. He's unblockable. Connive. Alright, well, that sucks. In turn. Alright, so if we trample through on the next turn, he'll be able to block, let's say, one guy, but I'd still be able to get through 2, 3, and 3, which is 8. Anything in the graveyard. I'll decline. Alright, so there's a blocker that can block fairly decently. I don't know who's won here. I did. Victory! Our opponent against Harefoot. Harefoot. Delicious. 1, 2. I'm gonna mulligan. I like that a lot better. Keep it. We're gonna get rid of one of the Duplimancies. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go for the green to start off with. That's 3 mana. Alright. 4. Keep out the Duplimancy. Excellent. Alright. This problem is you'll be able to take my guy out. This is going to happen, but we'll do what we can. Death of the Sludge Monster. Nope, he doesn't care about that. Alright, we're going to put a security bypass on the Sludge Monster, giving us 2. Pop right there. And we're going to send in Alright, there we go. Death Touch. Well, we can't do much with that. Let's see. I shall. You can't do anything there or there. We'll just start thinning the herd. I think he thinks the same. Let's put out another Sludge Monster. We'll get rid of Death Touch McMonkey there. And at this point, we'll send in these 2. Next to combat. No Death Touch when you're slammed up. And we can make that thing jump around a little bit, as the Lord commanded. Splash around in the water. This guy's looking at his hand. There's a Stick Fingers. pretty much to be a 2/2 guy here pretty quick. All right, what are we attacking with? It's still a 9/9 though. That's nasty. Nope. No, not you two. Just that guy right there. There we go. How is he still holding on to that? That's ridiculous. In turn. All right, he's going to try to gain 3 life. Ooh, I didn't see that coming. Good game. Winner, winner, victory dinner. All right, we're playing against Tyler A. Tyler A opponent, apparently. 1, 2, 3. What do we got? Jewel Thief. All right, all right. So we got a creature. That's one of the things with this deck. You kind of need to have one. Otherwise, sometimes you just keep playing this thing without putting any guys out. That's not cool. We do have the Clonomizer 2000 and a couple of direct creature targetings. Nighty-night dragon. Alright, turn 3. Hopefully they won't just shoot the Jewel Thief. That would be bad. That would be bad. Two Duplimancies. Thinking about croaking just to start off with. It's a 1/1 frog, but at least I'd have a dude. In case he decides to shoot one. And I always choke back there. Apparently he doesn't have what he needs. Look at this. Look at what this dude is just putting off. That's an artifact. Greetings, citizen. I'm really hoping I could pull a man on this next turn. That'd be really good. Come on, no kill. No kill, no kill. I can't get him any stronger. Got the mana I needed. I just don't have anything to do with it. Alright, so we're playing against the artifact deck then. This chick just allows you to get mana for your artifacts and to exile stuff off the top of your library. What do we got going on here? Alright. And a creature. And now we have 2 creatures. And with that, we'll be done. Alright, so Luxurious Libation will make him swole. I have the ability to pump it up by 1 if necessary. You're going to try to go after it with your reactor. Man, his dragon is just like it's vaping over there. +1. And a copy. And a citizen. Well, I got a whole lot of useless little guys at the moment. But I can turn I can make lands into things. We can start the slaughter, I suppose. Just tap it. Yep. So, okay, lands, you're going to be doing your thing here in a second. You just don't like him because he's been enhanced, man. Yeah, he's dead. All right, good for you. Next to combat. And let me just be a 1/1. I guess I could make a copy of these guys so I can have another one, I suppose. That's going to be 2 more. And we win! Wow, I am shocked. Alright, so here we are with horror clones. Not horror clones, horror clones. And what a fantastic deck this has been. So, yeah, I gotta say, I really liked it. It was really cool. And we'll get into more details about what was the coolest part in a second. But let's talk about who was the hero? What really made this deck tick? And to me, the real hero was Llanowar Loamspeaker. The more I play with this guy, the more he's just space awesome is what he is. What's great about him? What's great about him is he's a 1/3, right? So he's got a big old 3 butt that can help with defense for quite a long time. Quite a long time. He's only 2 to put out, and he gives you 1 mana of any color, not just green, but any color. And if you don't feel like getting mana, you could take that land and turn it into a 3/3 hasty creature. And it's still a land, but you have to activate it as a sorcery. So there's no defense with it, but still. He's got so much utility to it, so much versatility for such an incredibly small price. And you saw that when we mixed it together with Vesuvan Duplimancy and Croaking Counterpart, just making copy after copy of this guy, and then just tapping them to make a bunch of 3/3 hasty land creatures, that was more than enough to at least have one guy just give up at that point. So yeah, this guy, for his price, is just packed with so much value. He is a rare. I just pointed at him with my finger, obviously, so you can see me doing it. That little rare icon right there. That explains it. I mean, this guy, I would almost pick him out as mythic, except for the fact you want people to have him, right? Really good, really good. The whole point of this deck was Vesuvan Duplimancy. I think this is a fantastic card. The whole concept of making copies of creatures and stuff, and just gives you a lot of interesting things to do. You just got to pick out what those interesting things are. And I tried a bunch of different combinations, but I really didn't stop until I started playing with Sludge Monster. To me, that was the creme de la creme, and he's my second favorite hero. I wanted him to be the hero of the deck, and a lot of times he is, but Llanowar Loamspeaker is definitely your first line of defense, and if you don't get him out, he's going to be, because plus he ramps you up into where you can get to these two cards. I mean, that's what's so great about him. He's your ramp, right? Yeah, Sludge Monster, especially in this situation, because whenever he comes into play and attacks, and when, and comes into the battlefield or attacks, you get to put that slime counter on another target creature. With all of the duplications going on, you are just putting slime counters on like crazy. If I wasn't so hot on trying to make this just a SIMIC deck, I would have put in here like Toxwirl as well, because the people would just be dying like crazy between the two of them. Let's just see what else was really great here. I mean, Croaking Counterpart. What I liked about this was the fact that it creates a copy, which could be of your own guy, which would then trigger off to making a copy, as well as also trigger off Vesuvan Duplimancy. I was going to call it Diplomacy, but it's Duplimancy. And so you got that double clone trigger going on between those two things. My God, that is so great. Jewel Thief, if you're cloning that, you're getting tons of treasures. This guy makes you have the ability to put out a bunch of mana or turn them all into, 3/3 creatures. Security Bycast, giving the Sludge Monster into a unblockable. My God, that is so good. Because then they're all just a bunch of 2/2s that can't block the one guy that could release them from their curse. And he's just swinging in for 5 each time. And then also a Security Bycast Connive on top of that. My God. So Swirling Mist I put in here. I mean, it doesn't, you could target one guy, your own guy, which then would cause the duplication to occur. But even more so, you could use it offensively by just clearing your opponent's board for a turn while you swing in with the 1,000 guys you end up making for yourself. The person that's in here that is the weirdest is Ivy, because, anytime that you target something, she takes a thing of it as well. And a lot of the stuff in here, she would work out great with it. Great, right? The problem is that Croaking doesn't work well with her because it doesn't release it of being a legendary, so you'd have to delete it. But Vesuvan Duplimancy works great with her. Everything else, Security Bypass, Shore Up, Combat Research, Luxurious Libation, all that stuff is going to work great with Ivy. Because to say, everybody knows you can't let Ivy live. In reality, she's just a target. As soon as she gets out there, she gets killed. You'd be lucky if you can keep her alive. This deck has done fantastic. That's all I have to say about it. So let's give it a quick rating. Is this deck competitive? And I got to say, I think it is. I think it is competitive. I haven't gone up against Mono Blue, but at this point, Mono Blue is going to kick anything's butt, so I don't really care about Mono Blue. Mono Red, I'd like to see that matchup. I didn't manage to go against it, though. And but I would bet, with the right cards in the right place, I think you do okay. So yes, but it is competitive in the games I did play with it. I got an 80% win rate. Number 2, is this deck fun? Absolutely it is. And is it interesting? 100%. The clone mechanics, the playing things at the right time, thinking about what you're going to do, 100% interesting. So I'm going to give this deck, I'm going to give it an A+. As far as this is the kind of thing you're going to pull out of your back pocket and play a bunch. It's weird, it's janky, and it is a great deck with a good chance of winning. So if you so choose to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.